Okay. Myself there? No, deafened. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Left for Random Talk episode 70.
And we're here. We're alive.
Oh, that's
Again.
cool. I got gifted a sub on somebody else's stream that I'm not even there. I'm not
Oh,
even there and
from
I
whom?
get gifted a sub.
For what stream?
Uh, they're a very, very talented spore creature creator named Dark Edge TV.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
We're both very tired, aren't we?
Oh no, I'm not tired. I'm very cold.
Wow, and you're in Florida.
The rains have been coming, the winter's rolling in. I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm happy now. That's why you don't have the AC on and why the window is slightly ajar. There's a breeze.
Meanwhile, it is freezing as fuck up here.
No, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Again, I don't mind it. It's finally time for some cool weather, and I'm so happy.
So as a heads up, I might mute
Mhm.
myself multiple times because my stomach's not feeling so great. I'm trying to
Okay.
control my gag reflex. I don't know
All
what's
right.
been going on, but every now and then I just get an episode.
Of course. As soon as I checked my YouTube, everything's wonderful.
Mhm.
Timing, what is that?
I've already sent the links over to Tumblr. By the way, you're called Anonymous Kiwi.
Why am I called Anonymous Peewee?
Because Google likes to change you to like whatever animal it thinks fits for that moment in time. You're a kiwi now.
I'm picturing a kiwi in like a little hat and sunglasses.
So there, I believe last time we streamed this, I was talking about the Unexpectables and how I haven't been able to finish it. Uh,
The
there was a
unexpected.
there was a kenku, which is a race in D&D that is just a little bird human that can't fly, but they mimic things perfectly. And there was a character who was a kiwi kenku. He had no arms, but he had really big feet, and he was always very happy, and he wanted sweet rolls. That's all he ever wanted.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, he
I
does
don't know.
still get sent to prison because he is a pirate.
Eh. Just, oh man. Yeah, as well. Once again, today has been another game release day as per usual. So wonderful. This week it's uh, Fallen Order, or sorry, Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah, we talked about that
Uh,
at one point.
I, yeah, on the show, I've actually sat down and gone through a little bit. It's boring. The planets you go to are, how do I put it? Okay, you know how like when you play the Uncharted games and it's like a slice of the city you go to with very few people in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, except there's no one.
It's an entire planet.
Exactly. Where no one's there, only the wildlife for some weird reason. I mean, I get some locations like Dathomir or a planet that has no settlements on it. That's fine, you know? I get it. It's like, okay, there's no one here, so there's gonna be wildlife. But places where are supposedly habited and there's no one around, I'm more like, okay, there wasn't a budget here, was there?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first problem. Second is, how do I put it? The voice acting is so bad for the main protagonist. I don't know how you managed to make someone sound even more lifeless than Anakin.
Wow.
That's saying something. It's like, you know how he sounds in the movies, right? Like very bored. I'm just done with the
Like he's
universe.
reading a teleprompt a little too well.
Exactly. That's exactly what this kid is doing, and I'm just sitting there like, why the fuck should I care? I mean, he gets better as he gets more confident. That's fine, but everything else is just kind of like, why am I bothering? I mean, I won't lie. The set pieces are amazing. It feels like Star Wars. I think my absolute favorite set piece so far is when you go to Kashyyyk and your first mission on the planet is climb a walker to take control of it. And the look of the walker and the setting is like, oh my god, I want. Well, it's like something out of a movie. I'm like, yes, this is great.
It's like Shadow of the Colossus was like the best game that has ever been made. Well, some opinions vary, but it's an amazing game because the levels are creatures that you climb. And ever since then, if a game has something big that you have to climb and conquer, it's fantastic. And Star Wars has had a long history of people getting into something bigger than themselves and conquering it.
Yes.
And the fact that that one moment is the only saving grace is pathetic.
It's sad. There are set pieces. Let me give the devil its due here. There are set pieces. There are moments that feel like Star Wars. Like suddenly you're going through one area and then suddenly something changes and things like that. That's fine. I'm not bothered by it. What I'm bothered by is like how lackluster a lot of this place feels. Like it all looks pretty. Don't get me wrong. Everything looks amazing, and the planets feel lived in.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are obvious like foliage and very specific things. And again, no problem with that. It's just it all feels very sterile to the point where I'm just kind of like, I'm not impressed. I'm just sitting here most of the time, just wondering to myself, okay, and time it. When is the next set piece? And none of it feels particularly lived in. There are what's it called? There are Uncharted esque um puzzles. Like you go
Mm-hmm.
here, you unlock the thing, and then the path is clear. There were a few of that, so I didn't mind it. It actually wasn't that bad when I thought about, when I went through it, really. But everybody else just doesn't. It feels off, and by that I mean like the crew you meet with are a little too quick to be trusting. Like the second you meet them, they're all kind of like, "Hey, join us," and your character's supposed to be someone who isn't used to the idea of people being around. He's been alone all his life, so it kind of makes sense that he has reservations. And yet, for some strange reason, he's quick to trust these people. And I'm just saying that like this plot is rushing too fast.
It's like it's like the issue with like some of the Telltale games. Uh, One of my biggest gripes with the Minecraft story mode is just how
Uh-huh.
quickly, just on a dime, the characters switch from being
Yes.
really disheartened and like questioning if they're ever going to make it out to suddenly, yeah, I feel great. Let's do this. Like how quickly that is.
Exactly, and that's exactly the problem with Fallen Order. Their characters seem to develop too quickly for what it's supposed to be. There's this off feeling of we got to rush the script to the next set piece, rush the script to the next set piece. That's what it feels like, and that's where my immediate thoughts kind of go to. Something's not right.
If you
Uh,
hear clicking, by the way, my hoodie is the kind that has like those little orb things on the strings where if you squeeze it, you can slide it around.
okay,
So every now and then you'll hear
all
something
right.
clacking around.
But like I said, that's the problem with this whole thing. It feels too quick. And
Yeah.
then my other major issue is the intro, where your character. Okay, let me be completely honest. The intro is fantastic. It's like imagine Fortuna, but you're going through the daily life of one of the workers.
Oh God, dude, don't remind me of that.
What?
When I first went to Fortuna, I accidentally pressed The dreaded button combination to close Warframe, and I never got to see the cutscene myself with
You
Ivara.
know, you know you can get the cutscene again.
How? Please tell me.
Uh, on the you know where the people are standing on those machines in the coolant tank or in the
Yeah.
coolant river. One of them will just be standing there. If you go up to one of the guys who have the hammers but isn't actually hammering or anything like that, there's an option that says press X to interact, and it'll play the intro again.
Oh, thank you.
No
I
problem.
was so upset when I missed it.
It's okay.
And I
Again,
had
that's why
Snow
DE
laughing at
added.
me the entire time. Like, God damn it.
No, but that's why DE gives you the option to do it again. They know not everyone can run the game. It's like, oh yeah. So, like I said, but that's what it felt like. The intro felt like the daily life of Fortuna under the rain. It was great. You meet your protagonist's like buddy for a bit, and okay, actually, here's a screenshot of it. Since we're going to be since this isn't going to be a review or anything, we can talk a bit about it. Since even I'm not that far in, but it's like this kind of shit. You're watching in the distance giant Republic cruisers and some separatist ships being ripped to pieces, like stripped down to the bare minimum and being hauled off to make new ships. And you're going through the level, you're seeing other people all over the place kind of ripping apart machinery or talking with each other or just anything really. And they're just going about it like it's normal, but there are no safety regulations anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you fall, that's it, you fall. And
This
it was go ahead.
this is my dream. That right there is not the falling thing. Uh
Okay.
being a scrapper or junker, like tearing apart ships to either sell the pieces and recycle it for money, or just build something new out of it. That is
Yeah,
my dream. If I ever play like a spacefaring game.
of course, of course. But when I was watching that, I was like disheartened. I'm like, it's like I've seen these warships in battle. I've seen the people who manned them. Etc. It feels bad to me. It's like this is disgraceful. Like it's weird to describe it, but to me, it's more like it feels like these ships should have been buried somewhere, not be reduced to like being ripped apart like this. You know,
Well,
it's a weird
yeah,
mental pet peeve.
yeah, but
Don't look.
even with
Go
like
ahead.
if we go with our world, a good number of like World War II ships are either torn apart to be remade into the newer stuff, or left to rot as museums.
True. But I would have been fine with like seeing a few of these ships in a museum somewhere, Little
Or just
respect.
little models, not the full thing. Like Jesus.
Yeah, but imagine the kind of museum you would have for that. No, thank you. But that's the thing. But as soon as your character saves like his lifelong buddy, right? Who's about to like fall into. By the way, for some weird reason, there is a Sarlacc there, just amongst the debris, not even covered, and for some reason, no one's doing anything about it.
The fuck?
I know. I see this, and my immediate thought is, why aren't we covering this?
Like,
Why
why
is
are
this
you
just here?
there?
I I don't know. It's either a sarlacc or a giant garbage squid that just grew too huge. So when your buddy Perf almost falls into it, your character immediately uses the force and he pulls him back. And then immediately after that, when he and your character are like talking, and your character's like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to leave now because I might be found out." And you're like, "Okay, so that's where the adventure kind of starts, right?" 5 seconds later, the Imperials are already on your ass. Like they actually stop the train. They have purge troopers with them and two Inquisitors.
Wow.
Like exactly, this is what I mean by this is going too quickly. I mean, I get it. Like the Empire's number one priority is to find Jedi. I get that. But yet, immediately? not even a day later. It kind of makes you think like, were they just here the whole time just because, and nobody said, "Hey, you know what? Oh, look at that." It doesn't make sense. I
Oh, hi,
just couldn't,
spider.
of course, but I just couldn't sit there and it defined believability, if that makes any sense. And it's just, like I said, it's annoying to say the least when that kind of thing happens. And then it's just a constant cycle of, oh, here's this, here's that, and then it's just, I was so done with half the plot after a while. I was just,
Yeah,
I was, hmm?
I'm agreeing. Yeah.
Yeah, it moves too quickly. I get it for like an Uncharted style game. The plot needs to flow forward. I get that, believe. But those flows tend to have a natural pace to them. You know, it isn't just like, and then suddenly Nathan Drake is here being chased by this mafia that immediately knows where because he pulled out the sacred coin nobody saw.
Uh, it's oh gosh. Do you remember that some? I say it's new. It's actually not. But you know the Thief game,
Yeah.
the one that has terrible background audio.
Yes.
One of the biggest gripes that the Let's Player I was watching had is that it didn't matter where you went or what you did, that corrupted cop guy was always there. Like, miraculously, he just happened to be there, but he is always there. And he seems to always know that you're there at some point, which doesn't
Exactly.
make sense.
Exactly, and that's what drove me up. That's what it drove me up a wall about this whole. Oh, and then the Inquisitors are here. You, at most, it would have been smarter to wait a day. You know,
Yeah.
like actually have your character do the Force thing in front of the drone, and then immediately what's the word? And then immediately after that happens, the Inquisitors arrive a day later. That would have been better, but instead we've got this obnoxious kind of progression that was just, I wasn't impressed. I
Yeah.
was annoyed, if anything. So you got that going on, and oh god, and then
How
the
does the
cast as
parrot
well.
thing? How does the parrot thing, like the little robot that rides on your shoulder,
Oh,
how does that
BD1.
tie in?
Oh no, the BD1 is actually the best thing of this game. Well, here's the thing: BD1 is a droid that's found on the first planet you go to. And basically, what happens is BD1 has information about a Jedi that you're trying to find to restore the Jedi Order, like find Padawans and everything. It turns out BD1 has encrypted logs and will trigger based on locations you go to where this previous owner went to. And from there, it's basically BD1 is always there assisting you, giving you advice, and is not only a companion, it can produce healing stims, it can map out the area so you know where you're going and when to go back. Uh, it can hack machines basically,
It
and
is
and
the
oh
true saving grace.
yes, and another benefit is the game has a bestiary, and what BD1 will do is when an enemy or a monster, or anything that you fight and kill, you get the option to scan it, and it'll give you an entry into your logs as to what this thing is or who this person was, and etc. etc. So it's an option to do if you want, like go in and beat an enemy, scan it, and learn about its what it is. Hell, you even get a little information about like its weaknesses and how dangerous it is, and will help you in the future, which I liked. Wasn't a bad concept in theory, anyways. But that's it. BD1 is the only saving grace. The crew you go with in the game is boring and obnoxious. Like apparently, a girl called Cirrus or a woman called Cirrus is a Jedi who cuts herself from the Force. So you think, okay, that's interesting, but she doesn't look it. And nothing against the woman who was clearly the mo-capped actress for it,
Mm-hmm.
but it her eyes bug out way too much.
That is not the mocap.
Oh, it's not the mocap?
No, you can't mocap somebody's eyes. That is done in the computer itself. They mocap the outer layer, just like the skin, the eyelids, etc., etc. But oh no.
You see what I mean? Look at those eyes; they're huge.
Hi, Golem.
But that's the unfortunate thing. When she looks forward or to the side or anything, you can see the outline of her gigantic eyes. Especially when she's trying to do something
Serious?
desperate or heroic, or like if the situation calls for it, her eyes will jut out in an unnatural way to the point where I'm like, okay, either this is a problem with the actress herself, like she has I don't want to say birth defect, but that's how her eyes develop naturally, or something's going on here.
I think that right there is like an animation glitch that they just refused to fix or didn't know was going on.
I need to look up this woman before like I continue to bash the facial expressions before someone attacks me for, hey, you're such an evil person because you're making fun of someone's deformity. Okay, here we go. Deborah Wilson. Okay, here we are. Deborah Wilson. Oh, she's the same woman from Wolfenstein, the recent Wolfenstein games. Oh, that explains oh so much. I wonder what's so it is a thing about her eyes. Like this is a natural thing about her anatomy.
Ah.
Partially natural about her anatomy. How do I put it in like the most polite way possible? Her eyelids and like the eye area around it are normal. You know, like I don't see bugging eyes, but for some reason,
She's not Schmeagol.
exactly. But for some odd reason, whenever she's put into 3D, the eyes seem to constantly be huge. I don't know what's happening here. I'm so confused.
I would be too.
Nah, but okay, it's that woman. I'm not a fan of this actress. How do I put it? In Wolfenstein, she could play a racist character very well. But here in Star Wars, it's like she's trying hard to hide the fact that she's hiding her past, and it's kind of obvious that she's in it because she's done something, is trying to make amends. That's it. My immediate issue with the character is I don't like the fact she's human, flat out.
Yeah.
This is Star Wars. This is a galaxy far, far away. I know there are humanoid aliens, but couldn't we make her one of those humanoid aliens? Why is it that every single game or movie or whatever, the protagonists or the supporting cast is just a bunch of humans?
And when they do have like a supporting alien
Mm-hmm.
protagonist, they're killed very quickly.
Mm-hmm. With I mean, you get one of those four-armed little monkey for the captain of your ship. That's fine, but even he's kind of lame. It's like it's hard to describe him. It's like 5/5 of a. It's like I don't want to say he's a neat freak. He's more like he has a gambling problem, and yet he's also a coward, but he's a good pilot. You know,
Yeah.
it's odd. It's very, very
Just
odd.
make him as uninteresting as possible. Give him so many problems that you don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
But his design is fucking amazing.
No, it's not even amazing. It's like I can tell who they based it off. Like his suit is very obviously one of those red jumpers people wear, like what are the tracksuit?
Uh,
I don't know what it's called. It's those red like full body shirt clothing things you put on for like when you're gonna run track and field.
That is tracksuit, yeah.
Okay, all right. He's got one of those, and it's very clear that you can see who he's based on. It's like, oh, great. I'm not impressed anymore. So you got that going on. And then her...
He is based off of literally every single overweight PE teacher I've ever had.
Exactly. That's the best way to describe it.
That is horrifying.
So you got that going on. And then you got the other Inquisitor, who turns out to be her apprentice. It's the one in that cool helmet with the sort of cape going on.
Yeah.
So I saw that character, and my immediate hope was, please let this be something new, some new alien or character we've seen from the Clone Wars or anything. Please let it be that. Please let it be that. Generic black bitch. Fuck. I wasn't impressed.
I mean, it's a step above the generic white bitch.
No, but her design, once she's out of the helmet, look, I'm black. To the point where we're just sitting there and just... any interest I had
to be
towards
clear,
the
we
character
have
was
nothing.
gone.
We have nothing against people's race.
Yes, obviously.
It's just sometimes movies and games like to shove it in your face and make it like very obvious. Like, yes, we're very much aware of who and what this person is. We don't care.
Exactly, and I'm just sitting there like any interest I had towards the character when she was helmeted and very like eager to fight evaporated the second she removed the helmet. And then immediately I saw it, I'm like, and look at that, my interest is gone. Because now you're going to be tied to this other piece of wood over here with the bulging eyes. And your whole thing's going to be, oh, she betrayed me because they interrogated her and then she saved herself, so I'm like, shut up.
And my gamer boner is gone.
No, it's like you had potential and you squandered it because you opened your fucking mouth. This is a sad thing. Like, I like her, you know? I liked her up until that moment. She toys with the character, but not in a way like, oh, you're so pathetic. It's more like when you fight him, she's like, oh, well, this is going to be interesting. That kind of thing. Like, she's not expecting an actual fight, but at the same time, she's not being overly confident about it. And then even when, you do that, when she's like that, it's like, okay, there's some interest. She takes out the helmet, reveals her backstory, main protagonist is conflicted, and then suddenly she just devolves into, I'm going to taunt you over the radio now. That's it. Not even interesting anymore. Just, I'm taunting you over the radio. Hell, her most evil moment, you don't see it. Your character has the ability to, like, see the past moments of an object or a person through the Force. And then you find the severed head, and then you hear her talking to the person. It's like, oh, you all harbored a traitor, and because of that, you must also die. It's very messed up, but I liked it. But like I said, it's just evaporation of interesting character, just out the window. And I get the feeling it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. I feel it, Just, again, to quote someone, how much money can we waste on a dumpster fire?
Well, if a certain pig roach is anything to come by or relate to this, quite a lot, unfortunately.
Like I said, I have no sympathy towards anyone who donates to that idiot. Because first off, your money's going into a void. So it's already gone. Second, whatever you ask of that moron, he's going to tell you later when he's drunk and or angry. You don't need to give him money. Just wait for him to lose what little temper he has and then profit.
By the way, I was in one of those streams with James. Oh, and okay. Somebody made a comment and everybody started gagging.
What?
Just the very thought of it. The pig roach's wife being pregnant.
Ugh.
Yeah, we all started gagging like, oh god, no.
No, it isn't the
No.
fact that she's pregnant. It's the fact that it'll be that he'll fuck it up.
Like
We have one fuck up in the
a
world.
majority of our jokes and also possibly truths is that if that happens, he's just gonna kill himself or he's gonna freak out and panic.
Mm-hmm.
By the
Because
way,
if he thinks he's struggling,
apparently he only showers once a week.
yes.
Ugh.
retching, retching so hard. No, that's not the big issue here. It's this is the thing. If that idiot thinks his life is bad now or difficult, the second that kid is, if there is a kid, the second that thing is born, his life is over. Period.
Yup.
This whole begging children for money shit is gonna stop because you can't support a kid off of that. That's it.
Yup.
It's like not even streamers we like who have children do this sort of shit for good reason.
I
Oh
mean,
god, go ahead.
Strippin and Dodger, they're streamers. They're also like they're content creators, and they have a baby.
Right.
But they have so many projects going on all at the exact same time. That worry is not too crazy. Like
Right.
they don't beg their chat to donate. They say, it's optional. Just do keep in mind a majority of this money is not going to me, it's going to my baby. Or
And
they
that's
have a
fine.
Patreon.
And again, this is fine, because they're actually doing us. And this is the thing that morons never understood. They're making a service for someone. That's the point.
Yeah.
They're making a product. They're making something to be enjoyed. What he is doing is not that. It's him playing a game in almost complete silence, making the most lamest jokes I think I've ever heard anyone say.
Complaining about how lame a shotgun is when he's using it as a sniper rifle.
Yes. And or bitching about something that suddenly happened because he couldn't see it. Ergo, the game is fucked up. By the way, you want to know something hilarious?
What?
He's illegally required to wear glasses. He can't see from far away. His TV is set up in such a way that he can't see it. So half the shit that you and I can see just fine, he can't because
And yet
he's blind.
every time I've been in one of James' streams to watch, he's not wearing glasses.
Exactly. That's the stupidity of this moron. He's the most, like, how do I put it? He's the most what's the word I'm looking for here? He's the most self-conscious human being I think I've ever seen in life. And by that I mean, here's his thing, right? He is so thin-skinned, it's not even fun. Like, if I was to so much as poke that disgusting exterior, I would poke a hole through it without even trying.
He would pop.
Exactly. Like, like any bacteria.
Yeah.
And so evil. But that's the thing. He's thin-skinned to the point where he cannot handle anything. We're talking about criticism. We're talking about bad PR. We're talking about anything. But his biggest thing is how he looks. He's going bald. He's going bald. He's messed with his goatee and beard so much that there's a permanent patch because he's probably plucked out all that hair due to stress. Stress and or a coping mechanism to deal with all the lines.
Yeah.
He is not in the greatest shape in the universe. His muscles are so atrophied, a toddler could beat him in arm wrestling and break his arm in the process. And yet, at no point does he ever stop to think, maybe if I turn off my webcam, I'll feel better about myself. No, he never does that. He just always, always, always assumes that he needs to be the center of attention, and lo and behold, there he is.
Ugh.
Always bothered. Like, it pisses me off just how pathetic a human being this is.
So let me ask you something.
Shoot.
In Death Stranding, is you dying a part of the tutorial?
No.
Because he died during the tutorial.
I'm not even surprised at this point. I'm not even. This idiot manages to kill him dumbest ways possible. The fact that he kills himself in the tutorial of Death Stranding before you're supposed to die is laughable. Yes, because technically speaking, the character does die um, when the void out happens. So technically speaking, he does perish. But again, this shit shocks me, like to no end. Like, you know how people will joke and say, "Oh, there's such a thing as the Darwin Award."
Yep.
Yeah, that Phil is like, he's so beyond the Darwin Awards. It's not even fun. It's like this is an example of an evolution that has somehow managed to survive up until this point. And I'm just, again, I'm flabbergasted. It's just like when people try to examine and cross-reference Christian. He's so weird, and he should have died so long ago. The fact that he's still around draws people to study this weird phenomenon. Again, like any animal in nature. And it's still insane. It's still insane he's still around. But no, the absolute hilarity of this is, if his wife is pregnant, and by the way, I say wife, I don't believe he's married. Like, I know he and her had a wedding in Connecticut. Super secret wedding of blah, blah, blah. Ugh.
Super secret, except I'm gonna tell all these people in this Twitch chat.
After a week off. And I lied to my fans, and they're not allowed to get mad at me because I lied, basically. But I'm not convinced they're married. Married in the sense of we love each other, etc. I think this is just convenience, as in, she wants that house, she's marrying this idiot, and then she's gonna divorce his ass as soon as she gets the chance.
Yeah.
That is, I
Like,
am convinced.
here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still sickened about this idea of her being pregnant. Because, oh god, she had to be near that thing.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. If she divorces his ass while she's pregnant, she's going to win almost immediately.
Even, no, pregnant or has kids, regardless.
Yeah.
The court will favor her no matter what.
Yeah.
And if Phil thinks
I
his wife
like how we're taking almost an hour to shit on this guy.
Let's keep going. This is my favorite part of our stream, is the moment we shit on DSP. And I know it's hilarious. I know we have shit views. We're nowhere to talk because, oh, he's so great. But guess what? We don't depend on this shit for money. We have jobs. We can lift our head up and say, oh yeah.
Again, like, this channel I've had to rebuild twice. So if it goes down, I will be upset, but it's not really gonna. Well, it's gonna impact me on the fact that, I just spent so much goddamn time fixing all this to
obviously
suddenly lose it all again.
Of course, but it's more the sense of, like, if it goes,
we're not making any money off of this, and we say this every time we talk about things like this that would get us in trouble. Like, we're not too bothered.
Yeah. We're just here. Like I said, we do this for fun.
Mm-hmm.
We've always kind of set this up with the idea of, let's just have fun with this, and that's the end of it.
Sometimes you have to shit on somebody.
Yes, and in the case
more
of
than one
Phil,
way.
Yeah, and in the case of Phil, he, just like we have the Fallout 76 whipping boy, which is a character I'm making. Trust me, give it some time. Just like we have the whipping boy, Phil is yet another whipping boy. He is our personal lowcow that we let. So just point and laugh at this idiot, and know that one day, when it all explodes, he will die, painfully, hopefully. Like I said, if he thinks that life is bad now, here's the funny thing, right? he wants to default on that second home big time. Here's what the dumbass truly believes. He believes that he'll be able to get away with like defaulting on the condo in Connecticut and
Mhm.
then just walking away. You know, as in like, oh, good, I get to keep whatever money I was putting into that. Yada yada yada. Motherfucker, no. The bank is going to sue your sorry ass for everything you're worth, and that's gonna
Yeah,
be
very much.
it's gonna be so funny when that happens. Like the second he has to default, he's gonna be on the scream. Yeah, he's gonna be screaming, but he's gonna be on the stream bitching and whining that the bank came and took all my money. I can't do it anymore, dude. I need this and this. I'm gonna be laughing my ass off the whole way through.
By the way,
So
I need $8,000 by the end of today. Thank you.
exactly. No, like I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping she gets the house, like the mansion in Seattle, right? And then he has to go
Ooh.
back to that. Exactly. And he has to go back to like he has the uh he still owns that condo. You know? It's still under his name and leased and everything. And yet um he keeps saying he doesn't, he can't go back to Connecticut. Oh, motherfucker, you don't have a choice. If you think that it's like I said, you want to spring back as soon as your wife takes the house. This is how stupid he's gonna be, right? As soon as she gets that house from him and gets everything he's worth as well, like again, I'm just hoping she gets even the furniture. like like he's leaving the broken Street Fighter statues, the dust covered shit he has, and that's it.
How
As soon
about
as he,
the how about the
Mhm.
fact that oh god, oh, he was playing like Outer Worlds. How about the fact that like she bought, I think it was like a game console or an actual game, and he took it to play.
Oh yeah, he. That's the thing about Phil. He believes that everything is like it's us when it's bad, but it's all me when it's good.
Uh,
That's what he believes. Like truly, what he believes. Ugh, disgusting. But when this happens, when he's eventually forced out of the house because of like I said, his wife does takes everything. That's what I'm hoping. As soon as he's out of there, it's either gonna, like I said, this is how stupid he is. Instead of doing the smart thing and going back to Connecticut to a house he has and is still paying, and technically he still has a roof under his head, he's gonna try and get another house in the area. He's gonna flat out gonna try and stay in Washington and buy a third fucking house. And I'm sure people are here like, oh no, no one's that stupid. There's no way he'd do that. Are you kidding me? I would like to remind everyone that he cross country with a girl that he barely knew and owns two houses. Two mortgages he can barely afford. Again, this
again,
is
a shotgun as a sniper rifle.
and that's the most recent idiotic thing you've seen of him. Believe me, there's a
I
lot
am
more.
really not surprised. Oh my god, YouTube changed their formatting. I am really not surprised by what stupid things he can do now. Like,
No, 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 no. Like the shit he's done in the past. Everyone said like, oh, there's no way he could top that. Oh no, it can get worse.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like absolutely worse to the point where I'm just sitting there like, no, no. Actually, in real life, he's still a fuck up that should have known to do shit from day one. Perfect example. The idiot didn't know how to do laundry until his girlfriend left him. Yeah, let that sink in.
Hey
We're not
James, we're
talking.
on your side. I'm only saying that Because the last time we just went, oh, we're just gonna do this one-off thing about one dude. He showed it on his stream and blew
Yeah,
both of our brains out with that.
exactly. Just,
I am
oh
not
my
expecting it, like,
god.
just so we're clear, I'm not expecting it, but do note that it's always on the back of my mind whenever we start talking about these pig roaches.
Yeah.
So, hi, James.
Yeah. Hi, James. Hi, GTG, and hi, Tim.
Keep
What
up
up,
the good
guys?
work, but please be careful.
Yes. Uh, Still, like I said, his life is just one gigantic train wreck after another, and it's weird not to watch. Yeah,
It's
again,
like it's like a train wreck mixed with a car crash. It's horrific, but you can't stop watching.
no. It's a train. It's a train and car crash, and the person out there who was in the whole thing suddenly stumbles out, is completely unscathed, and yet continues to like hurt himself, so he gets the insurance money.
Like, he's in these crashes, he steps out and then he immediately jumps into like oncoming traffic.
Exactly, continuously to the point where you're just kind of like, should we keep hitting him?
Oh god,
Should
it's
you
like,
know?
wasn't there a mission in Saint Row games where you did that?
Yes,
Yeah, there
it,
was. Oh my god, it's like the
it's an
best mission
insurance
ever.
scam.
Best
Yeah,
mission ever.
but like I said, again, this story is going to end one of three ways. Like I said, and when it happens, he's going to be screaming his head off. He's going to be just the most disappointed, sad piece of shit in the universe.
You know
And
his
then we're
banking
all
is
just
gonna
gonna,
get worse.
exactly, like when he's at his absolute lowest, like we're talking about streaming out of a shoebox kind of bad, right? I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to be there. I'm going to donate a quarter and immediately ask in that little donation thing, was it worth it, Phil? That's it. That's absolutely the worst I'm gonna do to this idiot.
What I liked about being in James' chat is that you could very clearly see spies in the pig roaches chat. Like
Oh,
you could very clearly see them. Like
mhm.
they're just cussing him out the entire time.
And it's brilliant. Like it's to go back to another like low. We've talked about him before. Wings of Redemption. Uh, Specifically, we talked about the guy. Like he's getting his life back together and maybe possibly getting a job, right?
Is he not?
In maybe not. Who knows? But someone made a song about him called "Mr. Wings Guy," which is a parody of the uh, Blue Sky song, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the lyrics is you know, and now we're banned. Make a new account next day. Hey, hey, hey. That's exactly what everyone's doing to Phil. Gets banned, new account. Uh, Watchers remain stagnant, and the idiot never realizes. Wait a minute. Half of these people aren't even.
It gets even better when you know that there's those Twitch bots.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you wonder how many of those people are actually robots.
Exactly. Oh no, what cracks me up still is that I'm waiting for the day he fucks up on Twitch. Like apps, he's come close several times,
Not surprised.
and yet somehow manages to worm away. You know, we're always uh, nearly free of the pig roach. It's basically like this half the time. I had to put that meme there. I had to.
Oh, I gotta see this. The verge of greatness. We were this close.
This close. Yes, and that's exactly what it is. But like I said, he's been kicked off of Twitch several times, or has And now my Discord is dying. Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh, there we go. He's been close to being thrown off of Twitch multiple times, and yet he comes. One day that goodwill's gonna fade. We all know. It's either because he's gonna be a person or he's going to do something stupid by himself. And it usually is. Like you've heard about his machinima whole fiasco.
Mm.
Basic story: at apocalypse happens, his playthroughs are being claimed left and because of like copyright infringement and fan art. He claims Machinima told him to delete all his videos, which deleted a huge portion of his views, and put his channel into the negative, basically. And then immediately during this whole and during that whole thing, he continues to attack and annoy Machinima to the point where Machinima has like a company line for like its creators.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to like call like Carol and HR.
Oh,
I don't know why I said Carol and HR. First thing that came to mind. So he's supposed to call someone. This idiot went around and started calling other people in other departments of Machinima. Instead of just staying, they told him, relax, calm down, don't freak out. Just stay where you are, and we'll be fine. He panics. He goes overboard, calls it, and nearly gets to the CEO of the fucking company. In this insane call, this person's manager upon this person's manager, and then finally, they tell him, "Okay, look, you got to stop doing this. We're doing everything we can to keep you around, etc., etc. Calm down. We'll get it sorted." And then the idiot tries to strong arm them into keeping him around by basically saying, "Okay, either you deal with my shit now, or I'm leaving the company." And then they said, "Okay, bye." That's it.
Just simple as that.
He got himself fired from the one company no one up until this point. Machinima, of all people. How? How do you do that?
By being a piece of shit.
No, by being a dumbass. And Phil, of course, he gets angry. He says they fired him. Self-fired, you idiot. No, actually, it wasn't that. He claims that they had an amicable parting. It's like, no, you got fired. When a bitch gets out of line, she gets slapped. Well, that's what happened. I don't view him like a... Well, that's exactly what he is. He's a whore. And that's it. Period. He's a whore. He sold himself for literal pennies.
He keeps begging for pennies too.
Exactly. It's like worst kind of whore in the world. One that can't do its job and it keeps bitching.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
about the YouTube guidelines, Rev. About the fact that I can't use the Creator Studio with Restream to say, hey, children should not be in the stream. About that.
Well, shit.
Oh.
Should we just have a gigantic disclaimer on the screen that says this isn't for children?
Oh boy, I already have it set on Twitch that we're set for mature audiences. But it's so much more it's so much more difficult through YouTube. Because there are so many things you have to go through to say, hey, children should not be watching this, but we're not going to regulate that because it's their damn choice.
Mm-hmm. Where's the hell? You know what? No, let me just find a game. You know what? We'll just put this on the screen, like at all times. Where's the most like ridiculous version I can find?
Look how the fucks I don't give. Look at the mannequin.
Exactly.
Wait.
Here it is. Actually, no, that's a bit too far. We'll just use this version. We'll
Okay.
blow it up onto our screen to the point where it just covers everything. And there.
That works.
Wait a minute,
Well,
nudity
wait.
and sexual themes.
I can
Where's
actually,
that?
I can actually edit this
All right.
to remove, at the very least, nudity.
Exactly. Where's the nudity on the stream? We lied.
And we had tits last episode. They were just
So
birds.
there you go. Yeah, let's.
Like that. Delete. There.
Perfect. But yeah, I think. All right. I think we've ragged on the pig long enough. I think we've cut enough pieces of bacon off its greasy back.
What I like about another thing I like about James. Whoa, that's way too big.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I like about James' stream is that he has a soundboard for a pig oink. And he's always waiting excitedly for the guy to make a snort noise.
You know, I've actually tried. Whenever I mock him, I tried to do the snorting, and it hurts. Like it actually hurts my fucking nose.
I have a soundboard.
Oh god, just I can't do it. But no, like I said, I was hoping like this would
Wait,
catch
no, I
on
just clicked the
with,
wrong
like,
thing. Shit.
Oh no.
I opened TeamSpeak.
No,
Close.
there's actually something I wanted to like be part of like the detractor memes and everything. And it's the cysty pig from ours. The pig with tumors and everything.
Ugh.
Yeah. So this is what I was hoping like we use. We just edit out the Boerwurst label up there. And then, you know, we just say like DSP bacon or something like that. And then we replace the face of the pig with Phil's face. And then it's just right then at the bottom we just edit out it's not the worst unless it's Phil worst.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a spirit animal. A fucking useless pig.
Oh, God. I told you I have a soundboard. Like my other two buttons are dinosaur roars, unfortunately, because I play D&D.
No, that's fine. But that I wasn't expecting the duck noise. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Just you know, it's this fucking pig duck noise.
I have oh hi Mark.
Oh Jesus.
Remove that. I'm gonna add them.
That's this.
I also have Bazinga.
Oh Jesus. You know what? The internet has ruined Bazinga.
I like the Left 4 Dead 2 mod where everything is Bazinga.
Oh Jesus. Again, just like with JoJo, the internet has ruined me with its memes. Namely, its memes. So yeah. I think we've ragged on this pathetic pig long enough. We keep doing this. Really?
Wait for it.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I can only have 3 sounds on at a time.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, but better than nothing. Yeah, like I said, I think we've ragged on poor pathetic animal long enough. If we keep going, there won't be anything to eat.
Yeah. The house guest literally just left with the dog, so yes! I am at peace.
Are you moving something near your mic? There's a noise.
I have no idea what that noise is.
Could be a phone too close. There's. I see.
It's gonna be over there.
I see. We're being intercepted by Imperials. Shit. We have a probe droid just floating outside the studio,
Filters.
just bombarding us with white noise, with like a little protest sign on its head. Oh man, I might do that now.
I'm gonna see if I can add a noise gate.
Okay. If not, we're just gonna create the noise producing probe droid with an angry little sign. All right. So we've covered that. Let's talk about the follow-up. Since we mentioned YouTube, let's get on. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
The dog just threw some.
Let me open up the list. There you go. Go ahead. I'm gonna keep working on my noise compressors over here. Or
Okay,
filters.
it's just the dog just threw something. So I was like, okay then. Right. YouTube creation, the guidelines. I'm pissed, to say the least. Like, I'm trying right now very, very hard to scream and lose my temper over this shit. Like, just you can't see it right now, but my face is absolutely livid. Like
Yeah.
it's red as hell. My eyes are completely bloodshot. I'm like 5 seconds away from exploding.
I know there are people in chat. I know you're there. I can fucking see the numbers. Do I sound any better? Because I have literally 2 noise suppressions going on at the exact same time.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Great.
All right.
I think
So
from now on we're gonna keep the mature thing there.
yeah, good idea. Just right there. I still love it. Like for blood and gore, intense violence, sexual themes, strong language. Wait a minute.
Fix
But yeah.
this.
So the guidelines are now part of something called COPA, which is like child. No, wait. Let me look it up. You sent me the guideline thing. Hold on. It's called. Oh God, this text is so small.
Children's
Here we go.
Online
Online
Privacy
privacy
Protection Act.
and or other. Yeah, COPA. In other words, YouTube fucked up with children. Now we will pay for it.
Too many Karens and yeah, too many Karens complained.
No, that's not the problem. It was basically there was a pedophile ring on YouTube.
Oh God, that's going on again.
No, the previous one basically,
Okay.
and they got away with it because they knew how to play the algorithm, which was just basically, tick all the kid-friendly boxes, and then we get more people. They played the algorithm. Children got involved, and then the pedophile ring began. And because of that, YouTube didn't stop it. Because the automated system is that it's automated. There are no people behind it. Well, technically there are people, but they're all from the Middle East. Yeah, someone did a research on it. It turns out that YouTube outsourced. It's like what's it called? It's employees to like deal with like, oh God, what's the word? What's it called? Disputes. You know, like when the
Yeah.
algorithm says, "Oh, this violates Y and Z." They outsourced it to like countries outside the U.S., but that have extremely like anti-gay laws and everything like that. So a lot of
Yeah.
the times, whatever was illegal here was fine there. So they upkept the whole claim against this video half the time, which altered the algorithm. And the algorithm never detected, hey, we might want to stop this pedophile ring. And so people suffered. And now, yeah, and the FTC basically used that as proof that, oh, YouTube is this platform, ergo we can push this law in, or we can fine them heavily for all this. And now we all suffer because YouTube didn't stop and say, you know what, maybe we should not use this algorithm so heavily. And now we're here. There's more to this. After further digging, I have a lot of people have discovered this, and you're going to hate it as well. YouTube can now terminate channels that are not profitable.
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
That's why I mentioned we probably should start moving to Mixer soon.
What the fuck, YouTube?
Exactly. Well, I understand why. As much as I don't like taking the side of evil here, I understand why.
Yeah.
With all these laws they now have to pay for damages they've caused, basically, they need to make money back. And so, some channels will be removed because they're losing money on it, basically. But that's the thing. Nobody knows how big or small a channel has to be considered not profitable. And nobody knows what's going on. YouTube refuses to talk with them. The whole fiasco with Markiplier should have woke us up in the beginning. And by the way, I think I know why YouTube was banning / removing Markiplier's views, like his fan base. I think I know why.
Why?
They don't want another PewDiePie. That's what I think it is. I think they are so threatened by the idea that someone could be just as big as PewDiePie, back in his day, if not bigger, that they want to remove. They don't want that to happen. So they're cutting channels who are legitimately good with content and decent people at the knees. So that way they never become as big as Pewds. And like I've said this on, like or hate the guy, but you can't deny he's made. And the fact that YouTube doesn't want another one and somebody else to be like him is disgusting.
Yeah.
They'll bend over backwards for Will Smith or oh god, Jack Black, for celebrities who will suddenly make up a YouTube channel, suddenly draw in thousands overnight. They'll bend over backwards, but those who have been here long enough, those who have been here to help build the platform to what it is now, fuck them. You got us to where we want to be. Now we get to dispose. Now we get to make the money that we wanted to make. Now we can stop pretending to give a shit about people. That's what it is. That's what it fucking is.
You know what sucks?
Hmm.
I've actually been on YouTube. Like, I've had my previous channel since, like, the beginning of YouTube. It got taken down because I voiced an opinion. We have this channel now, and now it's all going to hell.
Exactly. And that's the fucking thing that drives me up a wall. YouTube doesn't want to hear this shit. YouTube doesn't want to hear the fact that they fucked up. They don't want to come to terms that their policies, they're appealing to the wrong kinds of people, have led to this shit. They appealed to a phantom audience, like with any other game developer or company out there who does this shit. And now they're wondering, why are we imploding? Well, guess what? Because the people that depended on you, that helped build you to where you are right now to be a big company, they're leaving. You're now going to get competition, YouTube. You're going to get Mixer. You're going to get Subscribestar. You're going to get fucking Twitch. And then some.
Even Facebook.
Yeah, and guess what? The second that any of these groups get big enough, you're done. You think you're struggling now. You think that things are... Motherfucker, it's not even started. People are done with this shit.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to be censored. People don't want their opinions to be silenced. People want to speak their mind and share with the world and make something out of their fucking lives. To grow from a relative nobody to a celebrity in under an, if possible. But you don't want that to happen. You want everyone to be these little minnows. You want everyone to be in the little ecosystems you see, so that way the big buck bringers, your Will Smiths, your Jack Blacks, your fucking Katy Perrys, or whatever else celebrity you managed to coin into this shit, they bring all the people. But guess what? They drag the site down. YouTube was built off of the backs of regular people.
Mm-hmm.
And now that principle is being tested. And guess what? YouTube, you're failing. People are leaving. People are going elsewhere. They're starting their fortunes and their lives elsewhere. And by the way, you're ruining other people's livelihoods. People who have built channels up from nothing, who have built an entire company off of a fucking YouTube channel
Rooster
are not being
Teeth.
screwed. Hmm?
Rooster Teeth is a prime example.
No, and that's the funny thing. They're losing that livelihood. You're putting people unemployed. You're basically butchering what people depend on, but you don't care. As long as the bottom line of you is there, you don't care. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna try and rake in what little. Sure, it'll be fine. What, maybe a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a few years. But that money runs out. Those people who you want to support you, the celebrities and everything, won't give a shit. The second the next big trend or the next uh, internet hotspot to meet with fans and everything happens, guess what? They're gone. They will
And
leave your
this is
social
another
media.
thing. This is another thing if we're going with celebrities. The celebrities, a good number of them that are on YouTube, care about the people that are already on there. Like, again, Jack Black is a prime example. He cares about the people who watch him. He cares about the people who watch others. Like, he'll kind of joke around saying he wants to fight, like, PewDiePie or Ninja or whoever. But all in all, he does care. And the second they hear what is happening to these people that were there before them, their opinion on the site is going to change. And, like, their interest in the site is going to change. They're going to leave as well.
Exactly. Those who care about their people. Again, perfect example, Keanu Reeves or The Rock. Or, actual
Definitely The
celebrities.
Rock. Oh my god, I almost forgot about that.
People like them, they're not going to stick around to support a site like this. Yeah, I get it. At the end of the day, everyone needs a paycheck. I understand that, believe me.
Yeah.
But people care more about integrity, being respected, than they do money. Keanu Reeves is a perfect example. I've seen the man do things for other people out of the goodness of his heart, purely because he wants to be a good person.
I
And that's
remember
saying something.
I remember reading one of The Rock's Instagram stories or Facebook stories, I don't really remember which one, where he's driving down the hallway. He's driving down the highway, and a group of people, like a group of teens on the street, see him in his truck and run after him, trying to flag him down. He stops. He pulls over to chat with these people. Like, he's on a fucking highway and he pulls over for a group of teenagers who wanted to talk to him. And like when they separated, both sides are crying because the teenagers were inspired by him and looked up to him, and he's this celebrity who's being looked up to and being a role model. So, keeping that in mind, if we keep that in mind for like him on YouTube and stuff like that, things are going to change as long as people like him have something to say about it.
Exactly. And like I said, now we're reaching that point. Mixer is going to get popular because of this shit. Because no one wants to put up with this anymore. And this is directly because people at YouTube just stopped giving a shit. Because they thought they were too big to fail. Well, guess what? You're too big for your own fucking shoes. And you gotta live with it. And I mean this in the most like, you fucked up way possible.
Yep.
Hell, even the fucking bitch at the head of all this, Susan Wojcicki, you have failed the people. You have failed those who depended on you. You have failed those who worked for you. All because you
Who
wanted to keep
praised you too.
all because you wanted to keep pursuing a fucking political agenda. Well, guess what? Here's the bed you made. Now fucking sleep in it.
This is quite literally, from my point of view, I've lived long enough to see YouTube become a villain.
Exactly. And I'm done with it. We're gonna stay on because we actually give a shit about the people who watch our show, as few as those people are. And thank you all. I cannot thank all of you who watch us enough about this. I really cannot. But I
I
thank you all
rarely,
the
if
same.
ever, look at our subscriber number, and when I do look at it, I'll point it out to Rev, like, hey, we actually have this amount. We're helping people.
Yes.
But again, we care about the person more than we care about the number. We have
Exactly.
88 people, like 88 subscribers on this channel. We are tiny as shit. But we still care about each and every one of you guys.
Exactly. If I can do one show where someone's happy about it at the end of the day, then I've done what anyone should, and that's it. This is the only reason why we're still on. We're
Yeah.
sticking this out until the, I guess, bitter end. After that, it's on to Subscribestar. I'm sorry, Mixer. That's it.
Yeah. When the day finally comes that we need to leave YouTube, the channel's still gonna be here. The previous episodes are still gonna be here. Odds are I'll be uploading all the VODs from Twitch to here. But we are gonna be on Twitch and Mixer. And that's it.
Yes, and that'll be the end of it. The ride's over. I'm still gonna support my creators on here, on YouTube, for as long as they last. You know, people like BSC, Brain Scratch Comms, Super Gaming Bros, all these people. I'm still gonna be there for them, but that's it. I'm done with this site. I'm not making anything. Period. And again, I am trying very hard not to lose, or not to flat out just
Lose your
explode
temper, yeah.
on everything. And for those of you who know what happens when I get just absolutely mad, you've seen what happens,
I've
and
heard of it, yeah.
and I'm trying very, very, very fucking not to lose it, not to just scream and thrash and just become, unleash the fucking beast here. I am trying. That's why I wanted to cover this first, so we get this shit, so we get this disclaimer out, and to just say, we're done. We're wiping our hands off of this.
We are
All
going to
right.
take a quick break.
Yes.
Just so we can calm and simmer down a little bit. Also, I need to get up.
And I need a sandwich.
Yeah. So
we'll be back.
We will be right back. I'm going to play the intro song on loop.
All right.
Searching for music for your next...
Can my side be firm?
And my side's super soft.
With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
But can it help keep me asleep?
Absolutely. It intelligently senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable.
And snoring?
No problem. And done.
Will it help me keep up with him?
Yep.
So you can really promise better sleep.
Not promise, prove. Don't miss the final days to save $1,000 on the new Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed. Now only $17.99. And Sunday.
Well, I'm back. In a bit of a predicament. Oh, that's not good. Don't mind me, I'm just bleeding all over myself here. Not that kind of bleeding. I don't know what happened. I was in the bathroom making sure I looked okay, and then... Oh boy. I understand that sometimes you need to take a break. You know, to get some fresh air, feel better. Thanks, chat, for showing both my comments from the beginning. I might be a little winded. I had to fuss with something. It's left me really tired. Plus, I'm having to breathe from one nostril because I am bleeding. I'm not angry. I'm just very tired. Gonna minimize that.
And we're back.
Yeah, and I have a triple layered rag on my nose.
Jeez.
I don't really know what happened. I was in the bathroom. Doing like the usual thing in the mirror, just like making sure I'm okay. And by the way, like the left side of my nose is a little torn up right now. Just because it's cold outside and I get really itchy when I get too cold.
Yeah, I understand.
But I'm in the bathroom, I'm inspecting myself, and then suddenly I feel something hot spray over my upper lip on the right side. And I look, I am bleeding from the nose. I look down, the sink is a mess.
Jesus. Sounds like a popped artery.
Yeah, so the previous rag I had soaked through. And like this is the new one I have, I can already feel it being soaked through.
Jesus. Might want to call a doctor.
I know what's happening here. I just need to leave my nose alone.
Alright.
Which is hard to do. By the way, you're now Anonymous Koala. It is just putting you in Australia right now. By the way, those of you in Australia, stay safe.
Yeah,
at least one country, at least America, like the joke of the world, is helping. For those of you who don't know, there is a severe wildfire on one side of Australia. And according to Durnavir, the Prime Minister, the people in charge of the continent, did not care until this very moment. With so many acres, so many homes, so many people just in chaos.
Of course.
By the way, they found the jackass who did it, who started it all. It's a 14-year-old child.
Put him in prison?
No, they can't. They, like, literally, according to him, they found him. You know, they found out he did it. They slapped him on the wrist, told him not to do it again, and left him alone. But you know for a fact that the second any other kid from his school see him again, he's gonna get his ass kicked.
Probably.
And personally, I'm rooting for the kids kicking his ass.
Anyway, since we've already mentioned that, let's get on to our next bit today.
Yeah.
Let's see, we've talked about that. Let's do a quick one about the Sonic movie. Good lord, was that a quick 180?
What I like is that a lot of people on Tumblr,
Mm-hmm.
they've been posting this shit everywhere. Okay, now it's in my mouth. They've been posting it all over Tumblr, like they're going crazy over this. And for those of you who think that, it's all a scheme, it's all a plot by the people making this movie just to make more money, it's not.
It took more money to redesign everything.
They listened to the fan base who demanded a redesign.
Mm-hmm.
It was not some trick by the corporation.
And honestly, compared to the original, the new one, it's a whole lot better. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Oh yeah, so much
It's
better.
like night and day. It's like a fucking like the original looks like some. I know everyone joked about it and they said, "Oh, the original is like some demonic hellspawn thing." It's like, no, it really is. It really is.
Here, I'm gonna put this in a slideshow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just because
God.
it makes it so much easier.
But here's the other thing as well. When you look at like the trailers and everything for the redesigned character in the movie, they added personality to him. Like they actually added little things to the character.
Yeah.
And it works so well.
There's now people demanding that the big cat get added. Like, people, don't push your luck.
Yes, please. It's still gonna suck. It's still gonna be a shit movie.
It's still gonna have, like, the villain, I believe it was, I never remember the correct way of saying his last name. Jim Carrey, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be the star of the show, and he's the bad guy.
Well, that's because nobody gives a shit. Sorry, I had to. Well, here's the thing, right? It's basically that this movie is still gonna suck no matter what you do. It's still a Hollywood movie, and it's still gonna be terrible. But then again, Sonic has never really been like consistent with his own games.
Yeah.
It always changes. Everything's new. My God, need we say more about 06?
The most iconic game from Game Grumps.
That and Some Call Me Johnny's endless reviews of the game.
Yep. It just gets more and more and more.
The more you look into it, the more broken it becomes.
Yep.
It's weird, but it's true.
And what's hilarious is that each time you look into it, it breaks in a different way. So you never expect it.
It's a weird little thing, but everyone's like, But that's the thing.
Consistent.
Yeah, but that's always been Sonic's thing. He's never been a consistent. His games have never been consistent. We're talking both like gameplay and everything. And to be honest, that's fine. I'm not expecting Mozart's symphony with this movie. I mean, I'll still look into it just to see what it's like, but I think that just because they fix Sonic, I think the movie will be slightly improved. Slightly.
Oh, there it is.
Like, let me put it this way: they gave him more character, they gave him more personality for what he's doing. It looks like they actually updated the character to be more in line with like from the games and everything. And honestly, this might save the movie. This honestly might save it. Yeah, because before it was like, I don't know, it was off. And I'm not just talking about design, I'm talking about like the character originally seemed off. Like they created a completely different character to be whatever, and then they said, "Oh, now it's Sonic,"
It's like they've never heard of a Sonic game before and we're told to make a movie based on it.
Exactly. But now the character not only is his design better, but he's also like given personality, given something that is more akin to Sonic. And I don't mind it.
If I remember correctly, you know that comic with Nipples, the Echidna?
Yes.
I believe he's the guy who made those comics is the one who helped design the new Sonic, or at the very least making all the merchandise.
I'm not surprised.
Also,
If that was the case,
the proof that they have
mm-hmm.
that proves that this is not some trick by like the company like going, oh, we're gonna show you this ugly thing, and then when you least expect it, we're gonna make it pretty. They had the merchandise of the ugly guy long before this remake. So that proves it that they were bombarded by the fan base so hard that they had to redesign him, but they haven't been able to make the merchandise just yet.
But I'm all for this. I believe that okay, as ridiculous as the Sonic fan base can be, insane and cringy as they can be, this was a moment where it's like, you know what, you guys did something right for once.
Sometimes
now stop trying to fuck it. I had to say it at least once. But honestly, then you've got like this movie isn't going to be successful, though, at least in terms of like what a Hollywood decides is successful. And the reason why I say that is because they added more money to the budget to redesign the character and etc. I'm like, okay, I get it. Honestly, I can understand it. So here's hoping. Like I said, here's hoping.
Yep.
I do know that some people are still kind of like iffy about it. I know that fat autist out there is still going about it.
Ugh.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
What was it? I own the copyright of this thing that's two characters smushed together, and I'm going to steal other people's artwork because fuck it. He's actually doing that, believe it or not.
Boo.
Like, actually, no. I'm going to go find it now. I need to find it. Just to show, because it still counts as Sonic. I need to find this.
So the bleeding is stopped, but it's now in my mouth.
I'm sorry, I'm just like picturing that as like the way you said it. It's in my mouth. Yeah.
Like it's not, at least it's not coming out of the front. It's like going down the back.
Blood slugs.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not pleasant.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so again, as our typical, let's pick on the idiots of the world goes, I am talking about Chris Chan, of course. It turns out someone made an actually pretty good comic that pretty much turned everything he does into something worth reading, basically. It's called Rosa Chu's Story, and the art is cute. The characters are actually designed properly, like actually given proportions that look normal. It's funny, too. Like, the whole time I was reading, I was like, I want to read more of this. This is really good. And of course, Chris being Chris, he can't leave it the fuck alone. So in his latest... No, not latest. I think this is like... Okay, it's in progress. So it's his 15th book, the Sonic Chu book, basically. And I just need to show you this to show you the power of his incredible lack of creativity and how he manages to butcher what is a cute and decent comic. Because, if it's not in my style, it's not good enough. You fat piece of shit. You'll tell right away who did what.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
This is disgusting.
That Raichu has seen some shit.
Raichu has seen some shit. It gets better. Like, again, another example of like...
What happened to its tail? In the reverse image. What the hell?
It got bent, obviously.
Got
So
broken off.
And here, like, you'll see at the top is his comic, and at the bottom is the actual decent comic. Like, you'll see why I say the fan creation is so much better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, it's so goddamn cramped. There's a lot of text.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one is so much better. It's a flow. It's so spaced out. There's still a lot of text, but it's spaced out. And there's
Yes,
pictures.
there's a back and forth, and it's wonderful. And honestly, I'm like, yeah, this is great. And I see what he does. And here's this is an image of him actually like quote unquote creating the comic. By the way, you're an artist. You understand the whole penmanship thing, right? Look at his fucking hand. Tell me if that's natural or not. How he's holding the pen.
But
I'm confused.
that is going to destroy your hand.
Ah, as if it hasn't already been destroyed.
That is not how you hold a pen.
That explains why his art style hasn't changed in like 20 fucking
That
years.
explains why, like, if you look back at like the Raichu one, that explains why the colors are so nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's because when you do that, you are applying a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Which ruins the pencil, it ruins the marker, the crayons, whatever you're using. When you draw, the only time you ever apply a shit ton of pressure is if it's actually needed. Like if you need to make an ink splot. Otherwise, you need to have a very gentle, delicate hand. I'm not really one to talk, because my tablet is scratched to shit. But that's just because that's me. And I'm using a digital tablet.
Oh, no,
I can't control my hand.
I can't draw for sure. Like, I am so panicked when it comes to like drawing anything.
I've seen your drawings, dude. I know.
I will unintentionally create a death grip on whatever I'm making to the point where I'm like, ow, my hand. That's why I went to 3D shit. That's literally why I just went. It's like, I can be a bit rougher with my mouse because it's necessary sometimes. But this is like, my hand. But
I've been slowly but surely controlling that.
Mm-hmm.
Just by holding the tip of the pen. Like, for me, it's holding the tip of the pen over holding it from a distance. Because then you have very little control.
Yeah,
you want
the
to
closer
find
you
that.
are.
Yeah. You want to find that sweet spot on your pen or pencil. And if you can't find that sweet spot, then you just gotta do some exercises.
Yes. But it also shows you what he's doing, though, in the comic. Like, why everything gets so cluttered. He's focusing on the wrong thing and starting the page from the middle and then down in a vain attempt to make it not be a copy. That's why it's all cluttered and messed up in the other panels. It's because this idiot doesn't understand pacing. You dipshit. Nah,
That is seriously not how you hold a pencil, and that just makes my wrist hurt looking at it.
Likewise.
I can feel my fingers cramping, because when we do these shows, or when I'm playing D&D, I have to multitask. I have to do something with my hands, with myself. I have to do something, or I will go fucking crazy.
Right.
So whenever we're doing these shows, I am indeed drawing in the background. And sometimes, like, people hear it. And I try to be careful about that. And I can feel my hand cramping, like, especially in that space between the thumb and the pointer finger. That is the worst cramp ever.
Exactly.
I hate this. I hate it. Please delete it.
I hate
delete
this.
it now. I hate it.
All right. Give me a second. There you go. But still, like I said, and this again, it's comical. It's absolutely comical. This moron loses his shit when someone copies him, and oh no, because it's my characters, I get to do whatever the fuck I want. Worst kind of artist out there. What?
When it's your characters that you have worked your ass off to create, then you can do whatever the hell you want with it. But when you're taking something that you didn't make, that already exists, and claiming it as your own, then you can't do anything you want with it. That's just wrong.
Exactly. The big thing the big thing here is that basically his justification is because it's part of my shit. Any sort of fan art or anything, I get to do whatever the hell I want with it, and thus make it my own twisted, messed up canon.
Okay, then that's wrong.
Exactly, and it's led to a complete and utter like fuckery from day one. Like, again, this guy does not respect the concept of a fan work. If like this is the weird thing, right? I believe that if someone makes fan art of anything, and the original creator likes it, the two should talk and then say, "Look, I really enjoy your." Sorry, my phone is dying. I really enjoy your work and whatever, or your fan work. And would you be interested in me like making it part of my canon, or etc., etc., etc. That's basically what I'm saying. But when you do this without permission, you steal whatever the fuck you want, and then make it part of your canon. That's not all right.
Yeah.
That's just you being a bully at that point.
I've received fan art from other people of Kaiju Guardians. Which still amazes me to this day. I haven't seen any for a while, but that's because I haven't drawn any in a while.
Of course.
And I save it. I save their work, but I don't do anything with it.
Of course.
Because I enjoy looking at it, because it's somebody else's interpretation of what I've made. My favorite one so far is one that Yarrow made of Toby. And it's just a color palette challenge, and I love it so much. But not once have I ever looked at any of this art and gone, I'm going to take this and use it.
Exactly. But that's the problem with Chris. In his, like I said, in his warped mind, everything that anyone creates using quote-unquote his copyrighted characters, which, again, I laugh to no end, he just, like I said, goes off the handles. And it really does annoy me. Like, I'm sorry, not annoy me. It pisses me off. You know?
Yeah.
Because you're taking what doesn't belong to you, and even if you're trying to make it part of some demented canon out there, it's not right. At the very least, you should talk with the original creator of this thing and say, "Hey, would you be in? Would I bet that ask fucking permission?"
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's just this bullshit that drives everyone up a wall, including myself. Hell, what's the best way I can put it? Again, this actually kind of ties into that one of the other topics we have, and that is that whole Star Wars tracing thing. And oh god, and of course I am cutting out something about Chris that might pertain to other folk out there. Really, you don't you don't know anything about this fat middle-aged autistic person, do you?
I only know him by what you tell me.
Right. Well, there is one thing about him, and that is he is so lonely and desperate for love and affection, aka someone to fuck, right? That, and I shit you not, he's decided to marry his own fictional characters. I'm not joking. As of right now, he's married to, and I'm not joking, 2 of his Sonichu creations. So, fictional boyfriend and girlfriend, basically, and Mewtwo. Like, actually, the Mewtwo from Pokemon.
Oh no.
Yes, it's that cringe.
Oh, that brings back memories of what I did.
Sweet memories. Sorry,
Like,
had
I
to.
actually had one of those horrific realizations that I don't like people.
Mm-hmm.
So I fell in love with one of my own creations.
Jesus.
And I still love them to this day. Like, whenever I draw art of them and my character that's in that verse, I'll put them together.
Of course.
But, like, I don't endorse it. Like, the character still has a girlfriend or wife, still has a family. It's just, I love this character. I love his design. I like him. But I'm not one of those people who will go, by the way, I am married to this doodle. I am married to this doodle of a turd.
But that's the point. It's sad and pathetic all at the same time. And again, it's just so fucking pathetic. Like, when I found out about this, right, I couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe it. And yet here we are. And I just...
Here we are, and we all want to take a shower.
Exactly. A incredibly hot shower that melts away the bones.
Or take one of those, oh gosh, what are they called? They're a scrubbing pad or something that has minerals in it.
Yes.
Just
They're
scrub your skin off. Just get it off. Get it off.
Exactly,
Just,
exactly.
ugh.
And exactly. And that, like I said, that's the oh dear, my mouse went crazy for a second. Oh, it's still doing it. Oh no. Oh no, my computer's exploding.
You know, my favorite memories is when I had my original mouse, and stop moving around. And every now and then it would freak out so bad that I would be staring up at the sky spinning in any game.
Jesus.
It was the best thing ever, but it was horrific.
Oh, hold on, there's... Uh-oh.
Can you not get control of your mouse?
No, it's my computer's having a meltdown moment.
Beep, 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 beep.
Okay, hello, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Hello,
Are
I
you
hear
working now? No, not you, just some, like, the computer. Are you fine? Okay, it's fine.
Computer had hit a meltdown over this.
No, but...
Like, it realized what you were talking about and went, oh, good gods.
A time to nuke self.
Yep.
It just activates the nuke program, just... But no, like I said, it's sad and pathetic, and it's just led into delusion after delusion. It's like, ugh. It's insanity at that point. But yeah, like I said, this guy just doesn't understand the concept of don't steal shit. Which now leads back perfectly into my other point, the other topic. You see, I know what a transition is.
Okay.
Sorry. So that's the comic tracing. So a little while ago, I was looking up I was just looking kind of a little bit of information here and there for topics, and it turns out through one of the creators I kind of watch called Eckhart's Ladder. His whole thing is he does sci-fi ship battles and comparisons and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So, you know, his hobby, basically. And he discovered and revealed that the most recent Star Wars Marvel comic traced things from online. They just Googled something and traced it. And it's as bad as you can imagine.
You know,
Like, and I... Go ahead.
I'm guilty of that.
Of course.
But here's the thing. I'm not tracing over people's art. Like, if I need to draw a really nice horse, I will look up photos of a horse and loosely trace over it. Very loosely.
Of course. Yeah, and that's not the problem. Like, I understand, like, if you're working with, like, a human being, you have to trace over, like, certain things to keep the model consistent. I get that.
My biggest
What I
challenge is Centaur, so...
But here's the problem: when you're doing it by stealing other people's works, that's have an issue.
Yep.
And excuse me 1 second. And it gets to the point where it turns out the this is the funny thing. The person tracing the okay. The person tracing the ships and everything took it from another person's 3D models so they could be printed for like uh oh god, what's the word? For a tabletop game.
Mm.
And what wound up happening is trace ships that are like, designed for Star Wars and everything have the little pegs underneath.
Oh no.
Like you can see where this is a regular ship, but this is the peg where the stand is supposed to go. And no one stopped to say, maybe we shouldn't do that?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just wow.
It's incredible laziness. And at the same time I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of giggling to myself too, like, how do you not realize what you're doing? Here it is, a perfect example. Someone so this is an example of the ships that were traced from like Google Images and everything and put into 3D into the comics.
Oh boy, I gotta see this.
Yep.
Holy
It's also very
shit.
it's also very obvious that they've been traced because there are details missing. Like, oh, I don't know, that blockade runner not having a cockpit to see out of,
Yeah.
or this
Yeah.
X-wing with the fat belly for some reason. Oh, and it gets worse. The fucking TIE fighters are the ones that crack me up. Because you can see the area where it was copy pasted and they tried to hide it.
Yeah.
This is the problem when you trace from a source material. There are certain details that you cannot hide, or certain details that aren't supposed to be there that you just think, oh, it's part of the design. Nope. Again, this is fucking proof that nobody gives a shit about Disney, about Star Wars anymore in Disney.
Yeah.
They're all just copying whatever the fuck they want. Fuck the fans. I'm like, oh god.
We gotta check something real quick.
No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I did. So, you know that image I sent you like last night? The green dragonborn?
Yeah.
That is technically traced.
No, really.
I took a picture of a grizzly bear because I needed the pose it was doing. And
Okay.
I put it behind, I put it up, I made sure I could see it very well, and then I very loosely drew the character over it, but not once in that picture did I trace it 1-to-1.
Exactly. It's very obvious that you didn't, I mean. But here
Now
it's
that,
like...
well, now that I've told you that, like, oh, now I see it.
No, then I can't see it. I don't have an eye for picking up this sort of shit. Eye for detail, everything else is like... But no,
Well, it was either that or look up Megatron. Because he does the exact same pose in the first movie.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But that's the shit I mean. It's just... They just copy and just trace things. And sometimes it's not even subtle. Like, it's almost 1-to-1 half the... Like, here's another example. Like, this is like one of the earliest examples people found about Star Wars tracing in Marvel. They're not even trying anymore.
What the fuck?
They're not even trying anymore.
I mean, the.
This is...
What the fuck? What the fuck? And I can
know.
see very, very, very subtle differences in the first image, like with the position of the jaw and the teeth.
Uh-huh.
The hair is the giveaway, except in the second one, it's not.
Yep. And it gets, like I said, it just goes to show you, Marvel Comics don't give a fuck. Their quality's been going down the shitter for years now. This is just another.
They just care
step
more
on the
about their
ladder.
movies. Even their movies are shit.
No, not just that. They're, when something's very loud, shit like that. No, it's just in general, like, they're just in it for the money at this point, and this is why nobody's reading your comics, why we're going to the alternative shit. No one cares. Your quality has killed you.
Dark Horse is better.
Dark Horse is better. Jesus. That's saying something. Oh,
I don't
that's
really
gone.
know, because I don't read comics.
I honestly, I'm not surprised at this point that they're doing tracings. I'm not. It's just another long line of reasons why not to bother with Disney Star Wars. Oh, you know what's actually
Or
telling?
Disney Plus.
Yeah. You know what's telling?
Hmm.
Eckhart's Ladder literally said he's not buying any more shit just because of it. And that's saying something. Because he's always been, like, fascinated with ship combat and enjoying Star Wars stuff. And it's like, nah, I'm done here. That's saying something.
I'm good.
Exactly. It's just no. And again, it gets more obvious the more you notice it. Like I'm just looking at these comic images, and like the tracing is all over the place. I'm just kind of sitting like, can you hacks not be original? Do you have to take everything from other source material? Fuck me.
You have to ruin everything you touch.
Yes, like Chris. I brought it back.
Hey.
Because he's funny. Because he's also uncreative.
Hey.
Yeah, but
This is why I'm always so concerned when DSP plays a game.
go on.
Because, yes, he's a terrible, terrible person, but he also has quite the audience, and if he says something is bad, it's going to influence.
Oh no, he doesn't have an audience. We're talking about 500 people at almost 400 people every night. That is, in the terms of like consumers actively damaging something out there, that's like a drop in the bucket, like a literal drop. It's nothing. Trust me when I say it. He has nothing.
Not good. But it still concerns me because he's always like, he's shitting on a game that I'm looking forward to. It just ruins it.
Nobody actually takes him credibly. Period. Half the time, if he says something's shit or something sucks, most of the time they'll just ignore it because it's DSP. Anything that's going wrong in the game, it's his fault or he's playing it badly. And half the time, it's a combination of both.
Shotgun for sniper rifle.
You stupid.
I'm not letting that go.
Oh, please don't. We need to mock this idiot for everything he's worth. And then some.
Anyway, carrying on.
Right, we've got Sonic was done. Star Wars is done. We've got one.
Do you want to cut this off and continue next week, or just ask? Because like you sound tired. Do you want to cut this off?
Oh no, I was
okay.
reading a very small screen. That's why I was like, oh, what is this? I wear glasses for a reason. No. Let's keep going. Let me see. We could. Let's have a laugh. Let's talk about the Fallout class war.
Oh, goody.
So, have you heard of this?
Nope.
Okay, so here's the thing that's happening, right? We all know about Fallout Fuck You First, right? The program that
Yes.
I'm not calling it Fallout First. I refuse to.
Yeah.
Well, basically, nothing works. All right. People can still invade your world, in quotation, steal your items, etc., etc. It's a broken feature for a broken game. Shocker, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that works is when you go back into playing the game regularly, like online with other people, there is a little badge next to your name that shows that you're part of the system. So naturally, people basically realized, oh, you have excess money to burn and you're rewarding Bethesda's shitty behavior? Well, let's all grief this one person.
Oh, good gods.
They're ganging up and they're griefing them to oblivion and back. And then, so someone decided it would be a good idea to rally the rich on Twitter. And, well, now we're in the class war. We are literally in the class war. And
Wow.
it's so fucking retarded. Like, just read this.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
And this all happened because someone on Twitter said, we shan't let the peasants control. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, because I haven't been able to find that tweet. But basically, it's someone who basically just said, called a rallying cry and said, we must fight against the peasants and create a gated community. And I'm not joking. So now there's a full-on fight between these two people. And Bethesda's just sitting there like, shit. Because you either buy the subscription and become part of the elite, which you are then griefed to hell and back, or you choose not to, and you don't waste your money. Either way, Bethesda's losing, and I'm loving every second of this.
Yes.
It's so just absolutely hilarious. And the memes of this alone have just been like, you can't write this. This is something Bethesda wishes they could write. And it's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. I'm waiting for the machinima to happen.
I can't wait as well.
The Fallout civil the class war of the Great 76.
The War of 76. It was shit.
Yeah. Like, again, this is something you write in Fallout. Like, this is... The game takes place like 20 years after the bombs drop, right? In Appalachia.
Mm-hmm.
Or Appalachia, or however the hell you pronounce it.
Appalachia. You got it.
Appalachia. And and so you would think it's been 20 years, so not a lot would change naturally. So this is like perfectly part of Fallout's lore. The rich who managed to survive the apocalypse versus the poor, who are all over the place. I'm hoping there's I know Bethesda won't do this because they're stupid people. But I'm hoping they actually make this a quest or something. Like, actually make it part of Fallout's universe. Just call it the 76 class war. Please. Oh, man, I would love it. Just... I know they're never going to do it, but I'm hoping someone like...
Revolution has begun.
Exactly. I just... there's so much potential here. It's either going to be someone makes a mod in Fallout 4, which, again, wouldn't be that difficult, or someone in Fallout, on the Fallout team make it, or it's a machinima. Either way, I'm for it. Where were you when the Great Class War began? Oh, man. My face fucking hurts. But it's honestly just so funny. Like, so absolutely hilariously bad. That you just have to sit there and wonder, who was the dumbass who let this happen? Like, whose idea was it would be a good... No. You know why they give them the badge?
Hmm.
It's so that way people get jealous and want to be part of the exclusive club. And it backfired hilariously. Like, it wasn't, oh yeah, people are jealous, but for the wrong reasons. They want to be back to being part of the plebs. Like, we're talking about this. I hear Liam just shouting from the heavens, plebeians!
Which Liam? There's two.
Either one. Either one, really.
I mean, thank gods we're not talking about Borderlands.
Oh no, the moment we start talking about Borderlands, he's
Just gonna immediately appear. Just like morph
Yes.
out of the wall.
it's like playing, it's like summoning Beetlejuice. They say if you say Borderlands 3 times, he
Beetlejuice.
appears.
Oh, Beetlejuice. Okay.
Yes. He just
I
appears.
love that. I love that monster.
Yeah.
Because every game needs a B-52 bomber. At the least needed moment.
Yeah, but it's so funny. I'm still picturing that, just Liam morphing out of there. What's this about Borderlands?
I heard you was talking shit.
Exactly.
So speaking of tracing, I might actually have to do that with this picture I'm doing because I don't know how to draw fucking bamboo.
Alright. But it's so brilliant. It's so absolutely comical. Sorry I saw this. I have to share it.
Hi, broski.
Hey, broski, we're talking about class war.
We're talking about Fallout 76's latest development. Let me see.
Yes. The
Look at
fact
all
that
those
there are
ports.
whipping boys.
They want to join our server. Oh, God.
It's so bad. Like, it's honestly so sad that people actually, like I said, Fallout 76 has become our whipping boy. Just wait until they actually create the whipping boy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. 76 is great class war. I doubt they're ever going to do anything with it, like actually in game. I just know they won't. Because they don't want the negative PR to spread. Well, too late. It's spreading. It's spreading like wildfire. Fueled by gasoline. Oh, man. It's just... Oh. Again, Fallout 76, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Wasn't there an STD like that?
Yes. It's called AIDS.
I thought it was gonorrhea.
It's either that or AIDS, I don't know. I don't fuck that often. That's both a good and a bad thing.
Yeah, because don't your females eat the males?
You fuck.
Inside joke.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Well, that reminds
again,
me,
thanks
my
for...
birthday's coming up.
Oh, good. Thanks for tuning in, broski. Always appreciated. Yes. I might need to do something for that later. Actually, I might need to talk to you later about something, but that's later on.
Okay.
Let them eat fancy lead. It's just getting worse. There are more posts about the class war. You stupid fucks. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Like, the world is ending out there, and I'm just sitting there at my... This is fine.
Just giggling.
Yes, exactly. Like, you are all stupid. Alright. I think we've covered that, so...
It was very short, but we covered it.
Yeah. We also have another short called Boneworks.
Yeah.
So this one it's a weird little VR. I think it's being published or made or is being made by Steam. It's either or because a lot of it has like Steam assets to it, but it doesn't look like it's stolen from another game, you know.
Mhm.
And it's basically a John Wick sim.
Wow.
Well, okay, so the game is basically like this: you are some random person, I don't know what, right?
Right.
And for some reason, you're being hunted down by weird model people. Like, oh god, what's the word it's called? Wireframe. That's it. Weird wireframe people. And that's about it. You can use anything as a weapon, actually. Like, find a shovel, beat someone over the head, crowbar, etc., etc. The reason why I call it a John Wick simulator is because you can grab these weird wireframe enemies and kind of like push them, shove them, and then if you have a gun, shoot them. Again, just like John Wick, you know?
Yeah. Only difference is
Wait.
sometimes John Wick will just chuck his gun.
Exactly. And that's another thing you can do. It seems like in the just throw anything. Like I saw the trailer, and in it, the guy playing the game just grabbed a bunch of cinder blocks and dropped it on the head of one of these wireframe enemies.
Is that dude naked?
I have no. It's wireframe.
Well, yeah, but he's naked underneath.
No, he's not.
Yeah, because the hand covers it.
No. It's literally just it's an untextured body.
Ah, okay.
Like it's like Atlas, except there's no texture to him.
Okay.
But yeah, basically speaking, it's you can go in from any kind of a vantage point and fight the enemy, but at the same time, there's like puzzle mechanics, like things you have to go to, like, oh, I need to use this elevator, so I'll go into the I'll go push this button over here, and then I can make here, you know, that Valve style puzzles, really, you know, very physics based.
Yeah.
But then you also get enemies who shoot back at you, and they're kind of clumsy. Like I said, it's very much still out there, but in a good way.
It
Like,
makes
this
me
is
think
weird.
of Super Hot.
Yeah, exactly. It looks a bit like Super Hot. Except, you know,
That game was so weird.
it's so weird but fun. And that's what this game kind of feels like. It feels like it has slash John Wick feel to it, where you can move in, fight, and beat your enemy to death with with your gun before you shoot. It's actually pretty decently polished. Animations are like grabbing a gun and loading it, like in reality, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Holding, you know, you have a bit of force power. Like you reach out and close your fist, and it'll come to you. But that's more gameplay than it is like, you know, part of the ability. You know, like you see something, and you don't want to bend over and pick it up, basically. So there's
Yeah,
that.
that right there just screams Super Hot.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It feels pretty fun and enjoyable, actually. It looks like it's going to be Valve's big thing. Like, this is our big V. Like, Valve's been kind of pushing VR for a little while,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this feels right, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Valve's getting back into what they've been known to do, pushing game technology forward slightly. I mean, it's still early. It's still kind of like you'll still get the occasional fuck up. Like suddenly you have a noodle for it. But overall, it seems stable.
Bug or feature? Yes.
Exactly. But I find it interesting. When it comes out, I'll cover it more on the show. But for right now, I say look out for it. It's
Yeah.
got potential. And we'll just bludgeon someone to death with cinder blocks. Oh, sorry, I just realized something. Pokemon VR. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Actually, I need to see if that's a thing. VR. Oh god, it's a thing. Why are you sticking your head through that? No, I get. It's raw. It's still not there yet. Yeah, I can see the potential to it. Though I can
Yeah.
imagine if Pokemon goes anything, no one's ever gonna leave their house at this point. If Pokemon VR becomes a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's
That
gonna
and
be
they will
fun,
never
but at the same time, ugh.
exactly that, and of course you also have like people will not stop petting their Pokemon.
Pet the
You
dog, pet the dog, pet the dog,
no,
pet the dog.
it's not just pet the dog. It's also gonna be hug the Woolo. Pokemon's created the perfect creature, Woolo. It's a sentient ball of fluff. It has a face.
That rolls. It's so stupid, though.
Yes, it's perfect. Jeez, I'm sorry. I really like Woolo. It's too cute, and I want to hug it. You'll never. It's like I get one. I'll just forever hug the fucking thing. Like this is mine now. I am never letting this go. You can't fucking stop me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Press X to pet the dog. Press X to pet the dog.
Sorry. I looked up Woolo again, and I found this one again. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm easily distracted.
Don't use me. Yeah. I
It's so
love it
funny.
when that, like things like that, take a shit on PETA. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I still like the Jurassic World one about the shark.
Yes. Oh man, it's still cute. Anyway, moving on. We've got about what? Again, assuming the list fucking loads. Right, we've covered 76.
All
Sonic
that's left
movie.
is the last one.
All right, medieval. So let's get into it.
Like, during the talk about Wooloo, I've been getting the pictures.
Okay. So go on.
So, somewhat recently, an old, I guess you say it's a relic now, like an old game got a remake alongside a lot of other really good games getting remakes.
Of course.
Now, note that this game has actually had a remake before, and it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. I'm talking about the game Medieval. For those of you who don't know, like this game is created by a company who didn't know how to make a 3D game. So they were just making things as they go.
Mm-hmm.
The premise of this game is that you're a skeleton who has a glorious story to him, but it's not true.
Grossly exaggerated.
Yeah, because according to SGB, he and the king, like this skeleton, Daniel Fortescue, and the king were best friends. So the king wanted to give him this glorious story, even though he died via the first arrow launched in the fight.
Of course, as tends to happen.
Well, his game, which is very old, I think like PlayStation era, has recently got a remake, and by gods, is it gorgeous.
Yes.
According to the completionist, having played this game 100%, getting everything done, the voice acting is taken straight from the original game, just remixed and prettied. The levels are one-to-one comparisons of the original game. There is nothing new to it that will ruin the experience.
Well, that's kind of the oh god, what's the word? That's kind of the point of like the Oh god, for fuck's sake. The Spyro remake. Same
Yeah.
thing. Or the Crash remake, same thing. These remakes are basically just one-to-one recreation, dated and up-res to HD from the original. And that's
The
fine.
difference is, like, Spyro Reignited has improved voice acting.
Yes, but it's all from the original source material.
But of course, obviously, there are some things from the original game that they remove for the remake to make it better. For the remake, it's the camera controls. Like, I've watched SGB's play of Medieval 2 or 3 times now, and the camera and the controls have always been the one that cucks them.
Of course. Now it's not that case anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's decent.
It's actually a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with the game is that occasionally Daniel will get stuck on a wall.
Of course he will.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's something about that just makes it fun. But no. But that's the thing about I don't mind the remake. It's just I find it lacking. And I mean lacking in terms of like charm.
Yeah.
And I'll give a reason why. Basically, I'm not saying it looks terrible. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the first remake actually had a more interesting story, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was more charm, more character to it, you know?
Yeah.
Just a lot more to I understand it sucked, but there was just more to it, you know? It was all livelier and more interesting. This is a straight remake from the original, and I find it very lacking. Like it lacks the charm the original remake had. I think it would have been a better idea just to. Here's the idea, right? Take the first game, but just apply the remake quality voice acting, and I guess more of the story from the remake.
Well, here's the thing. The
Mhm.
people that made this remake, they added an extra bonus to the game, where if you complete it, you get to play the original game.
Okay.
So it's literally the original and the remake games in the exact same, well, game.
Nah. It's not enough for me, really. It's
Yeah.
and I know this sounds very entitled, but it's true. It's just very. It's just lacking, unfortunately. And again, this is like coming off the heels. Um. Sorry, and that is basically that. They had more to offer. You know,
Yeah.
as in there was more to do. There was more lively acting, more livelier things to it, and you could enjoy it for what it was. But then you've got like, there was always something more to experience to enjoy. This is just a one-to-one recreation of the original, and misses kind of the point of what the first remake was trying to do, like ignoring the gameplay and just using the story from the remake. There was more liveliness to it, a bit more going on in general. And then you have the original. It was like it's no pun intended. It's bare bone. I know, that's why I threw the caveat, but it's true. And that's the unfortunate truth of the matter, really. It's I don't want to be that guy that demands more nature, I'm not. It's just this isn't my cup of
Yeah.
and I think that's as far as I'm gonna leave it. It's beautiful. All right, I'll give it that. It's beautiful. Its comedy is still there. It still has a lot of the charm that the original had, and that's great. But that's it. I still attest that the original remake had more to offer, and that's it.
Yeah.
Beyond the rest, it's just kind of like.
I can
Here's
understand that.
no. Here's a perfect representation of how I feel on it, like in perfect words.
And he's gone.
What? No, I'm
Oh,
here.
wait, no, never mind. Oh, I thought you were going to say it.
No, I linked it in the chat. Yes. That's why I was like waiting. It's like, okay, and cue.
Isn't this from like a game like PlayStation All Stars or something?
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that.
Yes. But that's a good way of putting it. It's not good enough, I'm afraid. And it says, as fortunate as it is, that's the truth. Again, story-wise, I mean. So people don't jump down my throat that, oh, the game has enough just talking. Don't just come here and say, oh, Rev's a hit. He demands more of the game.
I've never played Medieval. I've never seen... Well, no, correction. I've seen the cover of it when I was younger, but I've never played. And I've never really seen somebody play it until SGB.
Of course.
But I love the game.
I've played the original Medieval way back in the day. God, I'm old. But a long time ago. And I remember enjoying what it was. But that was it.
Yeah.
But that's about everything I can really say. Everything else is just kind of like...
But I think like the point of the remake is to reintroduce this game to a younger audience.
Again, just like Spyro or Crash.
Yeah. It's just we get that the story is lacking, but that's kind of the point. Like there's not really meant to be a update on the story because it's not intended for us, as harsh as that is. Like it's a game we grew up with, but it's not intended for us. It's intended to show people like, this game exists. Don't forget about it.
Exactly. And that's fine. But again, I just feel like Spyro Crash did a better job establishing that. It's just this game is lacking, for lack of a term. And that's why I'm hopeful for Spyro and Crash, because this means that these two games have not only succeeded in introducing a new generation to these games, but they are also financially successful, which means more could be made. Again, which means that the dark ages of Spyro and Crash, when we had shitty games, might not happen again. Instead, we might get new games based on the originals. Yeah. And that makes me exceptionally happy and excited for the future.
That makes me concerned because like Medieval 2 was not that great.
Well, it's not that great because of technical issues.
Yeah.
Even, again, SGB's Matt put it, explained it the best. It was just technical oversight over technical oversight.
Yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, there isn't much else I can really... there isn't much I can really say beyond what is there, Again, I hope the remake does well. I hope more games for these games come out. I think it's only fair. Again, they're financially successful. There doesn't need to be, we don't need to just have the remakes and do nothing. I think we should do more sequels based on this. And actually make something. But that's it. That's all I can really say in my closing thoughts. Yes, welcome. Thank you for being part of my TEDx.
And this has been our TED Talk.
Exactly. Nah. But
I think that's good enough for us to end.
Yeah, so thank you once
Beautiful
again.
Beautiful game. Glad to have it.
Right.
It's just, yeah.
All right. So once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for talk. For once, we're on time usually. So this has been Rev. HH's usual stream spiel will come up, and we hope you take care. We'll see you next Thursday.
Hopefully. Alright, so my usual spiel is this. In the description down below on YouTube and down below on Twitch, there's a link in a creeper face saying support the stream by clicking here. Don't click on them, because they don't work. Unfortunately, we will be looking into moving from YouTube to Mixer. But don't think that we're going to be gone completely. We're still going to stream Left for Random Talk on YouTube. It's just, we're not going to rely on it too much. I am still going to do art streams. I'm still going to do gaming streams when I have the strength to do them. But for now, we are going to, for those of you on Twitch, we're going to raid my good friend, Like an Alpha. For those of you on YouTube, I am sorry, this is where we're going to end it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will hopefully see you next Thursday. We'll see what happens at work. Have a good night, everybody.